you've gotten. And we pray that you watch over this city, its leaders. I know we've all we're coming through a trying time. We pray that you're with every person here in the city, every person on all these committees, that it's led and goes forward as your will sees. So we're all these things in your name, amen. Everybody turn and face.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Hello, everyone. All right, number 2 on the agenda, we're going to open it up for public comments. If there's any public comments at this time. Actually, Jim's going to speak down here during his time. Yeah.
There are no other public comments.
All right, so there are no other public comments turned in. So agenda item number 3, reports and comments from board members and staff. Which way did we start last time? Patrick, did we start with you last time?
Well, I don't have any at this time.
Or did we start?
We started.
Okay, so we're going to start down there.
Yeah, I don't have any at this
Miss Michelle? Mr. Scott? Miss Kelly?
Just a mention of our attendance. Just wanted to mention our enrollment in our school district is 11,370. I think that's more than the population in Cleveland, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Has been for a while.
Yes, and I'm blessed to be here. That's all I have. Thank you.
Miss Kelly?
No.
Miss Davis?
Yes. First, yes, it is truly a blessing to be here with the other team members this evening. And I just wanted to comment on the new restaurant, the one that used to be
The kitchen.
The kitchen. I had the pleasure of eating there. The food is simply awesome. And their seafood, to me, is different from the others. Yet they say all is the same, but the seasoning is slightly different. It's very good. And if you get a chance to go, please try the stir-fried rice, especially the combination. Super has a little kick to it. It's simply delicious. And the staff there, they're awesome, really nice.
That's great. I drove by there the other day. It looked like it had a good amount of cars in the parking lot, so we definitely wish them success. They are good. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Mr. Robert?
I think I missed last month's meeting. I really missed y'all. I mean, it was tough, but I did sacrifice for the team, so I want y'all to know I represent y'all very well. I mean, I'll comment that, because I do want to make a couple comments about that.
You wasn't here?
And two, I want to recognize Miss Marilyn Clay. She just received an award. She went to the TML Leadership Academy. This is a 30-hour leadership course from TML. She went to Round Rock, the Austin Marriott North Hotel, and completed this course. So she was awarded with the TML Leadership Academy Enhance the Challenges of Leadership and Change 2022 Leadership Fellow Award presented to Ms. Marilyn Clay. And I'd just like to recognize her for her endeavor and spending that time to gain for us. I mean,
Congratulations.
So, other than that, we're glad to be here. Glad to see y'all.
Mr. President, can you go back?
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Robert. And, this is something that I think, and commend you all for doing what you're doing too.
Can't
I
hear you,
think that
Marilyn.
every elected official or even committees should do something like this.
Can't hear you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Angela. It is so rewarding because you find out things about yourself that you didn't even know. And it's really refreshing. It's very rewarding. And it sort of helps you to pinpoint your weakness, your strength, and how to work with other people. And I think this would be something that most of all the committees, elected officials should attend something to this effect. And to add to that, I meet so many people every day. I'll tell you, people notice how we're growing. We went to the Kashada's 6th anniversary award ceremony. I met so many people there, and they was like, Cleveland is growing. Cleveland is growing. So you hear this all the time, and we are growing, because you can see things just popping up, things being worked on every day. So we are growing. A lot of people don't like the speed we're going, but we are growing. And I just want to commend everybody that take forward in that.
Thank you. Ms. Angela?
Oh, I do have one thing to say. We have, Jennifer and I have been working on our city website, and we've actually got it to a point to where we should be going live in June, toward the latter part of June. And so we'll be reaching out to Robert on the EDC page to see what kind of information we need to pull for that, as well as additional photos. And so I think everyone will be pleased with the look. We went with a clean, fresh, clean, driven design, and that will be coming live next month, toward the end of June.
Did you read my mind or something? I mean.
I did read your paper and I decided to jump.
That's great, that's great. No, that was one of the things I was gonna talk about today, and thank everyone for being here, but as we think about EDC and just kind of the things that I'm thinking of as we move forward, we got the elections that'll be wrapping up here next month. A lot of things happening in the city, but I actually took some time this weekend and I was looking at other similar sized cities, EDC presence online. And I'm telling you, there's some great stuff out there. I looked at Belleville, Marble Falls, you know, some other smaller towns, and Tomball. I know Tomball's a little bit bigger than us, but what was great and what they all had in common is they were all tied to the city page, but they were basically a snapshot of your city as far as what demographics do we want to promote. You know, what kind of growth, you know, they right there on that page, you had who to contact, key demographic points, maps, and how close you were located to certain key location points, whether it be Houston, whether it be the port, whether it be the freeway structures. Just such a wealth of information for any potential investor or business. And I think if we can, and I know I was talking to Ms. Clay earlier today, we had been down this road before, but now that we're revamping the city website, seeing what we can do to add to ours, because it's just, you know, in today's mind, contacts are great. We can be cold calling people, and I know Robert definitely does that. But put something in their hands, put something for them to go to, put something that puts the statistics in their head is definitely going to be a help. Another thing I'd like to mention, I actually spoke with the mayor here a while back, and after the elections, I think it's very important that we're in open communication and aligned with our city government, making sure that as we move forward as an EDC, that we're meeting, that Robert and I and a key, and we can probably move around the different people that are in those meetings. And then we get together with council, say once a month, just make sure that as we're going forward, there's a vision, there's a direction, because there's no point in taking 6 steps down the road just to get 2 steps down the road. Because there's some low-hanging fruit here that we can really try to get to in a short amount of time. Robert and I were already talking about that. You know, we've got facilities that are already built with the industrial complex out west of town. We've got open lots coming available here in town that are gonna be, ready for something. So it's just having that direction, having that vision. It's like Ms. Clay just said, the growth is here. How, we've got to be a part of that growth being positive, that growth being in line with how we see ourselves growing as a city. So I think that these are exciting things. I think that I think vision and direction and unity is a big part of how we get there quicker. So I think that that's a key component into setting that. So I thank everybody on this board, and I think it's going to be a really exciting few months.
I want to add to that website. John Tarver is EDC with Energy, and John Tarver and BNSF are teaming up, and I've been working with them. They're fixing to do a video, and for the EDC and BNSF, their site, there's going to be stuff on this for whatever I pick from the city, will be the site out there. But that's going to be added, and we will have that to share as well. And go back to that train ride again, that was 28 people on this train, and they were vice presidents from BNSF, plus Robert Allen, some other people out of the governor's office. But everybody on this train, that's all they talked about was Cleveland for 2 days. And several of them said, I don't know if Cleveland really realizes what's coming to Cleveland, what's fixing to happen to Cleveland. I mean, they have big projects already working about this site, things will happen. I'd just say large companies really is already getting on board with them. And they said they just hope y'all are ready for the growth because it's coming, and the employment it's going to put out there, it's going to be a big change, which we've known it. We've been talking about that. So, but they talked about it, and on this train they kept saying, that was amazing. It was good for Cleveland because this train came from Gainesville just to come to Cleveland. That's what it's about. And I asked how can I get back on this train, or can anybody? They said the only way you get on this train is by invite. And you got to be a dignitary to get on the train. That's the only way. And they left here and were headed to Chicago to pick up some other group of people. They said you just don't get on this train. It's by what happened. But for them to come to Cleveland, they spend a lot of money. So, but this website that they're fixing to do and this drone footage, it's going to help promote us as well. So just
and talking about promotion and talking about the website and talking about visibility and how it's the beautiful thing. We talked about it when we were making the Allies Day brochures. What we put on that brochure as far as pictures and how we're selling this city, it's best foot forward kind of stuff. We control that. Let's put it out there. Let's get it out there. And it's, we're going to be able to write that narrative. So no, it's
the other thing is, and I think Darlene and Miss Carolyn were on that committee, the 2010 ETJ study.
just our last study that's out there on the website.
And you ought to go back and read it.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, if you look back 12 years, it kind of gave a clue of what was coming. And we're at the point right now and we told the city back then, because I was on that committee that kind of put that pack, we worked, 6 months on that, and had a lot of experts come in and speak from Friendswood Development to people on the Sam Houston Toll Road and some other developers and stuff. But we weren't at that point then. We're at the point today that we're going to have to say no to certain things because it's not how our city wants to be or look. And we need to spend some time going to certain areas. And the reason why I brought this up is because I spoke against something the other day at, I don't even remember what the name of that committee was.
She spoke at the Board of Adjustments
Okay.
about a zoning change from me.
Yeah, and I spoke against that. It was
And it's up there by Liberty Church, up in that section. And they want to put a 2.5 acre RV park on the frontage road up there at 2025. And the reason why I spoke against it, I mean, we have land right up there. We have 21 acres. And that whole area is about to blow up, is the way I was putting it. That we have the opportunity with all that land, not just ours, but all that frontage and where Browder, where you go get your car tag, your inspection, and all that area right there is going to change because of the school, Quick Trip, and all that. And they were going to put this, they gave a variance. I'm just saying, we need all these zoning and everybody to get on board with how we want our city to look. And it was kind of upsetting to me, not just because we have 21 acres there, forget it, there's other avenues to open that up. But to give a variance from 3 acres to 2.5 on a RV park that will have no amenities, and they're shoving as many of these little, and they even gave a variance on the size of the RV space. They didn't? Okay, excuse me.
They only approved this
Well,
acreage.
so far. So far. But that doesn't fit. I mean, it just doesn't fit in that whole scheme of things if you can look into what it could be, not what it is, what we have now or what we need now. There's plenty of land for something like that other than on the frontage of 59. I mean, but yeah, but my point being is we want our community to look a certain way. When people drive on 59 and, you know, spent money on a big Cleveland sign down there, and we probably need to do that. But remember, and lastly, if you go to Houston, every one of those signs down there lead to Cleveland. They don't lead to Humboldt, Livingston, or anywhere. They lead to Cleveland. 288, Sam Houston, the Grand Parkway, 45, 10, everywhere leads this way. And we need our city to look a certain way. And like I say, sometimes you're going to have to say no to some things because it doesn't fit in how we want it to look. Go ahead, Derek.
I know, I just wanted to pose the question to Brent and Robert, excuse me. Is it possible, the property that you're speaking of, in other areas, is it possible that we could get pictures, maybe an area view, and we decide what would best fit in these areas? We know that people are coming in 2 or 3 per month.
And you know what, that's a great point, and that was kind of gonna be further down the line and talking with Robert, but I think that this board, I think as we really develop, it goes to what you were saying, Scott, a vision for our city, working with the city council, working with the various entities here in the city, that we take a targeted approach to who do we want to contact for lots A, B, C. What does who do we want to, what kind of businesses do we want to attract? What are we short of in town? I think that comes with the overall, as you look at this, at the vision for the city.
That would be perfect. That way, we would already know in advance when whomever come in, you know, I'm looking for this spot, I'm looking here, we would have already discussed what we want to see. So when that ball dropped in our court, we said, oh, you know, have a nice spot that, to see if you would consider something that would be beneficial to the city, and not only that, but passerbyers.
But the beautiful thing about that is you're exactly right, and that's how, as an EDC, and with Robert as director, that's that targeted approach. Like, you know what, I can see business these 5 different businesses succeeding there.
Mhm.
We need to go out and talk to those people. We need to try to bring them in.
I just wanted to say that I agree 100% with Scott on this. And I think that it's lack of information that we're getting. I was under the impression that this RV park was gonna be very similar to the RV park that we now have on the other end of town, which is probably one of the most attractive areas in our city right now.
The frontage area.
And we, along with our city council, need to be more consistent and persistent with stipulations and guidelines and, what we approve and what we disapprove. And cleaning up behind these businesses, cleaning up our city. If I drive through here my friends come back and visit, and we drive around and look, and honestly, there's places that I'm not proud of.
Same here.
And they used to be beautiful homes here that have been, it is unbelievable, the conditions. And what we continue to allow, it's very frustrating to me. And until we can get more serious about that, that is a big concern in itself. And it's a simple fix.
And I think that's gonna come with, again, this relationship building and working together with all our entities.
Allowing positive growth here is what we need. We need
Great step.
positive growth, and it's.
There's actually a hidden plan out there that we ought to go back and look at, that I think some people in this room have been. There is an area right behind Molly's office that we talked about during that downtown project of going in and paving that area back there. And I worked on that in the last email on that downtown project on my email was October of 2010. It was right after we did the EDC. Our ETJ study. But there's an area back there that we could actually, matter of fact, some of them did sign that agreement, but where we could, because all the property owners go back to the middle, and there we could add 20-25 parking spaces where we get people that work there off the street, so it'd open up the parking in the front. We did that during that study. Y'all remember that? But we had talked about it was kind of, I don't know, me and Jay's idea, I think, back then, and to close down that street, have vendors come in and have a portable stage that you could put up in that cove, and people would come on a Friday or a Saturday night, and it'd just be something for downtown. And anyhow, you ought to go back and look that up too. So that's kind of
and there's a great comments.
not to take time.
Well, one more thing I just want to mention, just an example of what I'm referring to. Driving through the city on garbage day, for example. You've got green trash cans in front of the front door of these businesses. That is unbelievable to me. I don't know if there's another solution, but there has to be. Whether it be some type of receptacle at the end and they all share. It's little things like that. Those are eyesores. Very unprofessional. And it's along the sidewalk of our downtown. You drive through our downtown and you see all these garbage cans. Anyway, that's just an example of what I'm referring to. And you bring people here to look at our city on a day like that?
I think being very smart with how you do that is very good. Thank you for those great comments. See, y'all had some.
Makes me negative.
No. But no. All right. Any other comments?
It's not negative, it's an improvement.
It's right. Again, I think this kind of goes, it's good to have a vision, it's good, because if you have a vision, you have something to work towards. That's how.
Would that fall under, beautifying downtown?
It would, and again, I don't want to get off topic, but I believe, because your contracts are under, waste management. So all of that, we would have to go back out to the city council and look at that contract and see what options. All right. All right, Mr. Robert, I think you're up. Number 4, monthly business prospect report, EDC project updates by EDC Director Robert.
There's not a lot of changes on these. Y'all had them last month, and, changes don't happen, overnight. It takes a while. But I'll give you a few updates on what's going on with the Whitewater car wash. It's well under construction. They would like to be open by August. They were hoping to be by July, but it's gonna be August. The Tarika Humanum that owns the property next to Whataburger, they're still working with a company that's looking to place a restaurant. And they're doing their due diligence on that. Big Plastics, I've had a lot of meetings with them. That's that recycling plastic company that's moving in on County Road 388, which is known as Lower Creek Road. They're gonna employ about 20 people. Told them, they're outside the city, we can't do anything for them, but as far as maybe like down the road, we might help them with some job creation. That's the only thing we could do. They wanted to meet with the county judge, see what the county would do for them, so we had that meeting. Nothing on the Waffle House out there. They've had 2 or 3 other people that have Waffle Houses look at it. Still, nobody has railroaded that thing. The people with Trans Equity still looking at property to their apartment complexes. Streetwise, David Wise, they have the property next to Whataburger, the Burger Works. That piece, where he's wanting to do another strip center, he has it listed. So and I think, Scott, David Wise as well. Mm-hmm. David Wise does a lot with these strip centers. He's really a well-known guy. So they're working on that. The property next to Pizza Hut, that's still under contract. Due diligence they're about to finalize that. They've had a couple of people look at it. So far, they want to say which one's going to wind up getting it. They don't want to say just yet. I've helped them with TxDOT to get their ingress there. Ollie's, they're almost ready to completion of construction. They're going to start stocking mid-June and start doing their training. So won't be long, we'll get to see something over there. Any questions on those or anything? Yes, ma'am.
About this apartment,
Uh-huh.
multi-housing,
Uh-huh.
are we talking about, okay, are we talking about HUD type apartments?
No.
Are we talking
No.
about upscale?
Upscale apartments.
And is
Yeah.
that
There's no,
taking what's there and remodel, or?
they're looking at one complex, but they're hunting new property, trying to, new property. It's what they really want to do. I even touched base on that. Mr. Lambert also has a client working on doing some of the same things.
Yes,
So,
it's behind the police station. 6 acres right there.
yeah, we met.
It's under contract.
I guess I'm referring to this one that they're
Yeah.
interested in.
That's him. Yeah, and also, yeah.
Okay, so they're interested in buying this other complex right in town.
They're looking at and remodeling.
Robert, what's it called, the Huddle House? Would the Waffle House be interested in getting that? Since
It's just not a footprint form. Yes, they said no.
Okay.
Try it.
Yeah.
But,
That one,
So there hasn't been an interest in that in a while, hasn't there? Or somebody looking at it?
There've been a couple of the whole house people that came to look at it recently,
It was just too
and
much.
they backed off of it.
Yeah.
So, we'll let them work that out.
Yeah.
There's some,
But would it be beneficial for us to know what the objections are here so that we can work on those?
yeah, but some things I don't think actually got to do with dollars.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with dollars. I mean, they've had, I know 3 different Hull House people look at it. So, there's something that,
Yeah, as long as we're not sitting on it, it's somebody else. That's all I got.
okay. Next page, Crisscross Investments, you know, they're still around, Ryan Denard. He's, definitely a big player in this as well. Scott can tell you about that too. They have strip centers all over the city. They want to be here, they're still trying to buy properties. Burger Works, I commented on that. Now they are starting to remodel the AT&T building. That's going to start happening soon, because he's fixing to pull a permit. He's going to remodel that thing totally out. On the road, Franklin Food Saloon, there's no changes on that. BNSF, I think y'all know pretty much what's going on with them.
Robert, how's that new road looking at that easement on that property? Are they still doing the surveying?
Are you talking about on School Road?
School road, yes.
We'll call it School Road, or road there, really not gonna be a school road, it really would be, that is, yeah, North Side Road, we'll call it. That is in, actually in Franklin and Phoenix Blues hands right now. So, I mean, no, they've done the surveying, what we paid to do, the center line.
Yeah.
We've had that done. And there was, but that's something else we have to discuss.
Yeah.
You got a question?
Hey, I did talk to, my friend David that owns Oakhurst and 2 other golf courses about the new golf course out here. Of course, they're building a clubhouse, the cart barn and the pool house. But he was trying to shoot for July the 4th grand opening, but it's probably gonna be Labor Day. That's what he told me today, so. He's excited about it, so I think all of us are. Labor Day.
You know, we used to do EDC golf tournaments.
We did.
Going back. When that opens, we'll have to.
Have to put one together.
All right, thank you, Robert. All right, moving on to the consent agenda, items 5 through 7, approved minutes from April 25th, 2022 business meeting, approved monthly bills, and approved monthly financial statements. So you'll have a chance to look at that. Do we have any motions or discussion points?
We don't have any expressions. I'd like to go ahead and approve the items 5 through 7 on the agenda.
We have a motion to approve from Ms. Clay. Anybody also a second from Mr. Lambert? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, discussion and action number 8. We have a discussion and possible action on membership renewal of the Leadership East Texas 2022-2023 program for a cost of $1,500. I think first we have Mr. Carson to talk on that, and then actually last year's recipient.
Yes, you were a member last year, so it's a renewal last year, and it's the same conditions It's for the whole year, and with that, you get 2 scholarships, so you can send any 2 people you want to the class. And the purpose, if anyone doesn't know about Leadership East Texas, our mission is to identify, recruit, and educate potential leaders from our area, get homegrown leaders, and provide experiences in the local community, facilitate relationships between the current graduating class and the Alumni Association, which formed last year, and to encourage ideas and actions. Now, this year we graduated 18 from the class, so it's pretty good for the first year. And the course covers visioning, community leadership, building relationships, emotional intelligence, change management, product conflict, communications and social media, serving the community, and then we have our graduation ceremony. It runs from September, October, November, and then January, February, and March, and they graduate in April. And it's a great program. I think there were some of the people here. I think you were there, Michelle, weren't you there?
We were at the graduation.
No, I mean, you were at graduation.
Oh, yes, graduation.
Yeah, and
That's good.
Leslie is a graduate of the course, and so is Ashley Resort this year from the city of Blue. And I forget who you, Robert, who you.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Okay. So, do you have any questions on it, or?
Yeah, I want to make a comment, Jim, and you can tell everybody. I think last year, the 1,500, didn't that allow 2 people to go?
2 scholarships, yes.
So that's still the.
Yes. And just for your information, this year, because of the program, because we started out, we were fortunate to get some people that unfortunately didn't know how much it was going to cost them to help put this program on. So the price went up this year for an individual. An individual is $750 to go on their own. So but we're not raising the membership cost to our municipals. So if you get 2 scholarships, it's like just paying for 2 individuals, but you get the membership advantage of it too. And we've gotten we got a grant this year also from Christian Missions, and fortunately that helped us tremendously. It was a $10,000 grant we got from them. And we've got the city here, the city of Dayton, Southside Bank is a sponsor this year. So most of the people renewed from last year, and we picked up a few new ones this year.
Yeah, that's a question. Since I am new to all of this,
Yes.
I came in when the graduates were being congratulated. Your campus, I mean, where do you take the course? Online? Are you?
No, it's the commitment that a student has to make and their employer has to make is they have to have 1 free day a month for September, October, November, January, February, and March. And we hold the classes at the Cleveland Civic Center. And all of our instructions there. And the class actually starts at 8:30 in the morning, includes their breakfast and their lunch. And we have, each class is a little bit different. We had a government day where we had the mayor of Cleveland, Liberty, Dayton, a judge from Polk County, judges, so we had a lot of municipal people here. And we had a nonprofits day where we had speakers from all local nonprofits coming. So it not only teaches them leadership skills, but it creates a better knowledge of the community they live in. And I've been in several of these courses, but the one thing that you'll find, especially as you get older and pass the course, 10 years from now, you might be involved in a business or government part of Cleveland, and you may need to know something from somebody in Dayton or Liberty or some other community, and you know these people because you're in their alumni association. So, and they meet frequently, and they hold events where they'll keep that social network going. So you have a social network you're building, as well as the better knowledge of the community than those people. And I do have our new brochures if you They're pretty much the same as last year.
So this didn't change, you missed me, this was mine last year, is that the same?
Same, a little bit, just a couple changes.
Well, let me-
Well, we have our own address now.
I don't have, okay.
We do have an office now, and it's in the Veritex Bank building across the street, right across from City Hall, right across from the chamber office.
Yeah, I want to comment, because last year, you know, about $1,500 allowed 2 people. And I think it was, yeah, but it was presented to the board members, did anybody on the board would like to attend last year? And I think we all chose not to go, so we did choose to pick someone for a couple businesses.
Yes.
And we chose a lady from Encino Landscape, which Tommy Johnson owns that one, because he did the project out in front of the Lone Star Cleaners in that block there. We chose that lady, and then Miss Shailene Barrett from Lone Star Cleaners and Boutique, we asked her, and she said she would go, so she did go ahead and go through the course, and she graduated. She didn't make graduation, she had to work that day. But I invited her because I thought it would be good for the board when we sponsor someone to hear from someone, then we sponsor to see what their views are. And then correct Leslie, she did the same thing as well. I mean, but have some comments.
Sure.
Mrs. Barrett? Thank you for coming.
And thank y'all for sponsoring me. I did enjoy the class. I had had quite a lot of that training since I came 33 years out of the oil field. Most of the training about your personality and how you would manage on a personality perspective, I had already been through all of that. I did like the fact that they brought in the city leaders and you could get more educated on how a local city government was run. Because I hadn't worked small town or been in my hometown because I worked out of town for 33 years. It's very time consuming other than just your one day that you have to attend. I would say that maybe it might have been helpful to some of us if some of the training could have been online and not person to person, because you don't think that one day every month for 8 hours is a lot until you sign up for it, and then you have other obligations come forth, you know. So that's why I didn't get to make graduation. But as for the networking and the people and the contacts that I made, now that I did appreciate that. I met lots of people and still stay in contact with them, and they have helped me with other projects that I've had go on throughout the city and things that I've been working in. So that did help me on a personal level and on a business level. I don't think that you need somebody that's going to be very career-minded or small-town business, somebody opening a new business, somebody that doesn't know anything. It would be very beneficial to them. But just your average person is not going to come in there and benefit a lot from leadership in East Texas. It needs to be somebody who really has a mindset and a goal to make something happen and make it in either this small community or another small community.
Question, as an employer, would you send like specifically maybe would you send one of your employees, maybe somebody young that's starting out and just has potential, or would this be something that?
I think that would be very educational for them, but due to the financial part of it, I don't know, as the type of business I am, if I would be willing to invest that into one of my employees, because I just don't think I have that type of employee working for me. And it is, you know, financially, that's a pretty good little chunk of change there. And for a small business, that's a big step to put that into somebody, and you don't know if they're really headed somewhere in the small community or in the business mindset or not. So, no, I probably wouldn't.
I hear two factors there, and that is leadership, because an individual has to know that that's what they're wanting to get into, was leadership. Everybody's not cut out to be a leader. And another thing you mentioned, But leadership is one of the key things, because just like I said, everybody's not cut out to be a leader. And there are a lot of things that, that's involved in city government, as you mentioned, that they may not know, but it takes time to get that out there. And the online, that might be another option that, you all might want to consider. Because the colleges as well
It's
offer
a lot online.
online courses.
I do know there was a young man from Southside Bank that came, and I could tell the change in him. It educated him, it made a difference in him, and that made me happy for him. He was a younger person, he did take it very seriously. And by the time we got to the end, I was very proud of the progress that he had.
Because even with the leadership academy that I visited last week, there was a lot of young people in there, and they eat this up because that's what they do, you know. So you have to have people to give them what they need to foresee going forward as a leader.
Yes.
So
I think the networking was a big part.
The networking was excellent. I mean, there was a good mix of different people, and, you know, we met some ladies from Dayton. It was, you know, if I need something done over there, I got some contacts over there now. So the Entergy man that was there, he's a great contact. So, yeah, the networking was worth my time, definitely. And thank y'all for sponsoring me. I appreciate that.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Did you get your diploma? I know you didn't make graduation, I think you had to work.
Yes, I got my diploma and my gift certificate to the coffee shop.
Congratulations, thank you.
thank you.
Ms. Leslie, yeah, we want to know if it changed you.
Caller.
Yes, I am. Like she said, the networking was great. I got to meet a lot of people, especially Dayton people, and we actually bounced off ideas. There was a lady, an HR lady, and there was an accountant lady, and and we just got to know each other and networking. Also with the school district, Tarkington and Cleveland ISD, and getting to know what they do there. We met Mark, and I asked him like all these questions. He was probably like, okay. But I was just curious to see what other people, what their jobs were. We did have a lot of speakers that, very knowledgeable. Like she said, every month it was kind of hard to make it. Sometimes I would miss the morning or leave early because it was actually also council meetings. So I was like going, and I'm like, okay, I have to leave early because I have council meetings to prepare for. So it's hard for me to make it to all the meetings and stay there all day long too. But other than that, it was a good experience.
Yeah, thank you, Nate.
And I just wanted to mention, you know, I'm an old leader. And leaders, you hear somebody say they're born leader, that's not true. Leaders are educated. Leaders learn from the experiences of life. And that's one of the purposes of this. And as Marilyn said, not everybody should be in this. So if you're sponsoring someone, you should look at that person and look at not what they are today, but what you think they might become. That's the purpose of this program, to create future leaders. Not, you know, they don't come out of the class or a fully educated leader, but they've got the tools to go on and rise throughout the community wherever they're working. So, any other questions?
One thing about leaders, I think a person's got to be a self-motivated person, got to have the drive. I mean, I'm going to use Brett and I. When you talk about networking guys, that's all I do. It's all Brent. I know Brent. I've known him for a long time. And then we get up in the morning and feed on networking. I mean, kind of like what he talked about earlier.
Right.
Web pages, but that is instilled in some of us as you grow up, you're right.
Sure,
As you
sure.
grow, you learn this.
It's your experiences in life that.
And I have one question, did it change you?
Oh, yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, the first time, the last one I went through was Leadership North Houston, and it was with the Humble Area Chamber of Commerce. And I was head of their ambassador committee at that time. And we were a little bit more dynamic. We had it out Chain of Lakes. And the most exciting thing of that program and gave me the best confidence was and I weighed about 40 pounds, 50 pounds more than I do now. I climbed a 40-foot telephone pole, stood on top of this telephone pole, and jumped off for the brass ring. And I got the brass ring, so I knew I could be a good leader then. So.
Without that gator eating you out there. So.
No, yeah, but he had a harness on. But I looked at the guy down there and I said, "You better put 2 of them on that one."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's a couple ways we can, do I hear a motion to duplicate what we did last year and sponsor 2 scholarships? There's also the option of sponsoring 1 scholarship. I know that this year we only had 1 actually go.
It's hard to
find the right person. So if we want to, as a collective, find that 1 person that we think is going to get the most out of it, then we'll take motions now.
One would be the best, because it is hard to find for 2 people. I know the little girl from Encino, she went to 1 class, I think, maybe.
You want to make the motion, or I'll make the motion for 1?
Okay. We have a motion for a single scholarship at $750 by Patrick and a second by Michelle.
Is it 750 for a single?
Yeah, it's 750 for a student tuition.
Then yeah, I'll second that.
Second.
So that's not a membership, that's just tuition.
If that would sponsor a person for
Yes.
their tuition.
Yes.
All right, we have a motion and a second for a sponsoring a scholarship. All in favor? All opposed? All right, unanimous.
When do we need to let you know by? Jim, when do we need to let you know?
Oh, I would like to have the student by first week in, the name of the student by the first week of June if possible.
I do have a question. And my question is, you said we're sponsoring 2 people?
No, we're sponsoring 1.
person?
750.
There were 750 each.
But we don't know who yet, is that right?
We have to select the person.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that, or maybe some of these small businesses in our community that have these young leaders and owners, maybe to consider confronting some of them and asking if this might be something they might be interested in, or?
And I think they've already started that because Southside sponsored somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some businesses are already sponsoring their own candidates.
Okay.
So I think we need to, how best to go about this, Angela, because if we want to bring force.
Maybe some ideas of people.
The business sponsorships are different than the membership. The membership, like the city's a membership, the school board's a membership, and the memberships are $1,500 and you get 2 sponsorships. As you get 2 students you can send to the class. The business sponsors, it's $1,000 minimum for theirs, and they get 1 for $1,000 that they pay. So.
So I guess the question is, if we're wanting to sponsor 1 scholarship at this time, is $750 the amount?
Right, pay for 1, get tuition for 1 person, yes.
Let me see if I got this correct. Last year, did we just do a membership and then we were entitled?
Yeah, with a membership, you get two students.
Okay, so we're not doing a membership, then we're just doing a sponsorship.
Sponsoring
Yeah.
1 candidate.
Yeah,
Yes.
1 candidate.
Yeah, because the memberships are all listed in the advertising programs, and our website will be up this year too. So these are all the members. City of Cleveland, EDC, Dayton, Liberty, the Chamber of Commerce, the school districts, and Liberty County is also a sponsor, or a member.
So we can put something on maybe the next, because we need to bring some names for people that y'all know, ask them.
Well, the class doesn't start until 2023, right?
He's wanting to know some names by.
Starts in September of this year.
Yeah, he's wanting some names here in the next 2 years.
Yeah, because we have to contact them, get their emails and everything, and get all of that on.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Number 9, discussion and possible action on partnering with the city on the downtown Christmas lighting project. We were able to attend, a brief synopsis on this, able to attend a planning session with the city, and the city's in the middle of basically putting money back into our downtown Christmas, because basically all the decorations have, there's some left over, but we're starting to build for future generations. They've got just under 20,000 set aside and budgeted to do some replacement for some decorations. There's some really good ideas out there. We're working with not only the city, but also the Chamber of Commerce, city, EDC. They're all putting resources into helping revitalize our downtown Christmas, which I think is terrific. One of the things that we are set to sponsor is we're gonna have a picture area down there just this side of where that new mural is in that grass area. It's gonna be very nice and everything, but we're asking for the monies to sponsor. It's gonna be a huge Christmas ball, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like,
Well, it'd be like 2 or 3 more.
yeah,
Water City, Chamber, EDC.
and it'll have there we go. It'll have the name, or, it'll have a name on it. But one of those is, what was the price on that?
1,500.
Yeah, so for the 36-inch giant fiberglass ornament with the cap and base is $1,270 each. And then there's an additional $175 to add the logo.
What is that?
It's an outdoor decoration ornament. It's very big. It's part of a area that they're putting together as part of the downtown Christmas, a photograph area for the public, and an empty square that the city owns over there by the fire station.
Would we own that?
No, we're
We lease
wanting
it?
to purchase. This will be ours.
It would
to
be
use every
wrong.
We would own it, okay.
This is something that they're asking the EDC for support for, to kind of refresh their Christmas decorations for hometown Christmas. This is not going to be something that's used 1 year. This is going to be used for multiple years.
And stay up during the Christmas holidays.
Stay up during the Christmas
Okay.
holidays. It'll be there for the parade. It'll be there for that entire time. And we're in the talks and the planning sessions with again, it goes back to how do you see this whole time? What is the vision? We're wanting to tie together the decorations for the town with the parade, with the Christmas tree lighting here at the city. So again, setting 2 main focal points that the city is sponsoring with the town tree here and using the city property over there in a very public area to set up a very nice little square that people can take photographs during the parade, after the parade, kind of a focal point for that part of town.
And Jennifer, you talk about $20,000, but talk about other kinds of decorations, changing out with some new stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Like down the main street area or
Well,
something.
Well, currently we do have those banners, the red banners that we've had for several years. I think because the banners replace the wreaths. Yes, the wreaths with the red candles. Yes. the banners replace those, and then down side streets, we have the lighted white snowflakes. Because when the banners went downtown, it was due to, energy had changed some of the lighting out, or the poles out, so, we lost some of that electricity, being able to have something lighted on the poles down the main street, on these two streets.
And I do want to make a comment on, I mean, you may look at that, look at the price and go, well, why in the world? No, the quality stuff, this is by no means the top of the price structure for things like this. I mean, the prices get crazy. These were, affordable to take up a lot of space. That's going to last several years, because again, you're building to where, okay, what are we going to do next year? Because we need to get back to where, because downtown Christmas and hometown Christmas is such a that can be a big event for Cleveland, big draw for Cleveland. We've got to give something to do, something to see. And so.
I know back, I don't know, I may have dreamed this, but I thought when I was growing up that we had decorations that went from one side of the road to the other, like over the road.
We had lights.
Yes, and it was like,
Yes.
it was just.
If I'm not mistaken,
They may not can do that anymore.
Carolyn, you might know this, but at one point, I think TechStop got involved.
Okay, that's right.
They did.
May have stopped that.
They did. They took the poles down, or the brackets down, so that we could no longer drape them like that.
Because it was beautiful.
I loved it.
Yes.
And we're not, and again, I think you gotta do this in phases. I think you gotta think several years out, because there's no guarantee that by Christmas or when we would need to order these things. We don't know what Entergy is gonna have completed with the downtown lighting situation.
Right.
So we can't plan anything around that, because it might be done by then, it might not be. So it's where can we get the most bang for our buck? Where can we start this process? Because the vision for this little square is there's going to be we have a sleigh that'll be refurbed. They're going to be refurbing. They're going to have these Christmas balls all around it, a little pathway to the sleigh. But it'll be a bench there for picture taking opportunity. But also we're going to have a very cool little North Pole mailbox for all the kids to come and put their letters to Santa. So that's kind of the idea right now. Creating that avenue for parents to take their kids to a cool place. I think this is a direct mailbox. So we can now. We were going to sponsor the.
Yeah. Now these little Christmas balls, the chamber, those are, I saved $1,500. I'm using round numbers here. The chamber is going to do one of them, so it has a chamber. Then I think I'd like to see EDC have one, and the city have one. And then,
that's what we're talking about. I mean,
there's four there, or actually you say four, but there's gonna be three.
Yeah, they'll be individual ones. They won't be in a stack like this. This is a little bit different. I just wanted to show kind of an example of what we were talking about as far as the fiberglass ornaments.
So we know that our money is going to go towards at least one of those balls at, say, with shipping and everything. Let's say it's $1,500.
And it would have the logo on there.
Yes, it'd be our logo on there. So the question before this board is, we can put that amount if we want to help support some of the other decorations in the town. Leave it at the $1,500 and just buy this, or we can move it up. So that's kind of a discussion point for the people sitting here right now. I think that, I know that Cleveland has $19,333 they're putting towards it. Know that the chamber is looking to get one of theirs. I know there's a lot of feet on the ground that really want to improve and build upon our hometown Christmas to make every year better. So I think EDC can be a part of that, because I think with if you have a destination place, if you have a destination event in your town, it sells the town. It helps sell the town.
It's just like setting up at the fire station, you can set up here. There's a couple places you can go do photo ops in. And not only that, the chamber said they would help with us with this. Start working downtown, get more of our business, get more lighting, and help us participate in this.
That was one of the best things also that came out of that meeting. It's a concerted effort to where we we go door to door and get as many businesses in the downtown and one block of the corridor participating in.
Marilyn and I did
Well,
that one year,
that
every
didn't work
single.
very well.
Well,
I'm just gonna say, I'm not the one to go back and say, oh, we did before, but it just doesn't go very well. I mean, so, but I think it needs to be a little bit more personal. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. It's just, because we went door to door. That,
We had to talk a lot of people in.
yes,
To
what we had to
doing
do.
their own, are you
Right.
talking about doing their
But a
own?
lot
yes.
of them did,
Some
like
didn't
painting
believe in
things on their
Christmas, didn't want
windows,
it.
yeah.
There's several things on the table. We're talking about having a contest of the best, whoever gets the most liked of their decorations.
Yeah.
It's
We did
prize,
that, we did
Did
that.
you know, I mean, but again, there's,
Did all that.
but I think that you have to, you start, here's my opinion. We've got to be consistent. You know, I mean, if we try it this year and they say no, if we can get 15-20% going, maybe next year it's
But let me add to that. And I think when people, businesses see that the city is doing something, I say the city,
Right.
then they sort of
Absolutely.
get on board better. But if they don't see anything, I mean, the whole identity of the city itself, they're not really enthused about it. But when they see that the city is doing something in a positive way, then they're on board. And we have a business leader here. You know, I don't care what it is, whether it's cleaning up, whether it's painting stripes, whatever. When they see someone else do it, then they're on board. But if we don't do anything, they not.
Well, we're a part of that, we should be the leaders and the example. And I was gonna mention, I personally find the Christmas parade in Cleveland very entertaining. This last one we had was
Right.
awesome.
It was.
I think that we need to start thinking about doing an economic development float. I think we need to be doing a city float, and I'm not talking little. Yes, thank you. I'm talking an excellent promotion, you know what, that our citizens can be proud of.
And you know what, and that could be, and that's exactly, I agree 100%. And going back to your point, Ms. Clay, I think that it's seeing the different entities coming to your businesses. You know, you're gonna see the chamber, and then a few days later, you're gonna see.
They was on board with it.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
they
see,
were.
It was Victoria Good, Carolyn McWaters, Miss, what's the lady's name?
Miss Good, Sherry
Miss
Good.
Cook,
Yeah.
and her daughter. I'm telling you, we had a whole list, and we split it up.
No,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
And you know, one business see that other businesses are doing it. We are a business here. So, there you go.
It'll definitely be keeping up with it,
And that was gonna be my comment. You know, I know things didn't work before, but I'm starting to see changes in a lot of things in our city. Things we've been talking about, trying to improve, talking about our local business. And we'll go back to Ms. Barrett Tommy Johnson, that block. I'm gonna use Clint Pendleton, he bought a lot of, you write down, every building Clint Pendleton owns has those lights on them. I mean, you don't even have to say, what building you buy, you can spot
And if we could
And so
encourage
we've
these
gotta
other
start.
businesses to put lights up,
And
that'd
then-
be great.
them. Yeah.
Follow that lead.
So,
But if we
yeah,
start doing
buy those
this,
lights and put them on there.
and then we'll start, and that's going, like you said, once we do something, then the other business say, well, I need to put, man, I'm the way to do it, I need to put some lights, and then they just start, so. But I think we got a great opportunity this time, more so than we've had.
I agree, because we're 2 years out of the COVID. You know, as far as when it started, you know, I mean, there's people, we have some new ownership in town. You got some people that are, and I think the parade, you know, Kelly, I think you nailed it. The parade last year was one of the better ones I've seen, as far as our hometown parade. I think we have something really solid to build. And maybe we get together with the chamber and the other things, and we actually have maybe a cheat sheet. Maybe some businesses like, I'm so wrapped up in my business, I don't have time to decorate. Maybe we get them a little cheat sheet. You know what, we've already talked to people who come paint your windows and get a nice mural going with those paints that come off after the season. Something to decorate to where all they gotta do is make a phone call.
This is gonna it can get to a point that the ones that are not participating. Right, and that's the point, that's where you want to be.
It's just about to the point where we just have to ask Clint. Cause he owns so many of the downtown buildings.
Here's the big deal about the Christmas, is you get bigger, I don't want to use the fireworks, because it's 20 minutes and done, and you spend a bunch of money. But here, these decorations gonna be up 5 weeks.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
Don't
so
blow 'em up.
you get more bang for your buck.
5 weeks for several years.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so when you start.
It's cost
tracking that,
effective.
It's cost effective. So do I hear any, does I hear any motions on amounts? I personally think we could donate towards getting one of these and a little.
But do we have anything in our budget? I mean, I haven't been here since then.
Leslie will have that information.
I know we have funds.
You have
It's
plenty
just,
of money. You say you have plenty of money.
yeah, I know that. Do we have a budget item for that, for anything like that?
Under marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, under marketing, we only have 1,460 available. But I went back and looked, and it's been getting paid out of the travel, meals, and training in the previous year.
I know what?
Travel, meals, and training, because I was looking at the marketing line item, and I'm not sure, I was like, where is it at? And then it's been paid out of there.
May I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
We're talking about, for, especially during the Christmas parade, involving all of the businesses, asking them to decorate so it will look nice. One thing that will help also is ask the businesses to stay open later. Point two. Point two is their incentive to keep the people in is to have, hopefully, we won't have it this year, but we can have hometown craft people. Everything, you have your little booths, and everything in your booth has to be homemade. You have to make it, and, I mean, it's interesting, I've been to several. And your little articles that you made, that will give not only the citizens something to look forward to, but the businesses. If you're going to shop here, like, hey, you know, someone might come in and spend $50, $100 in my business, just by me staying open later. I mean, just an idea. You know, you call it Christmas on the Square, hometown Christmas, and then throw in a little, you know, booths. Because people, small town, love stuff like that. I do.
And most of it, don't they still do the little booths for Christmas that they do at the Civic Center? I mean,
That's the
That's the ticket.
I mean, wouldn't it be good if you do it on the side streets?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Not nothing as a Civic Center, just the.
Right, it has to be in the downtown area, and once upon a time, I don't know excuse me, I don't know, I know Scott, remembers it when we had, the weekend leading up to Christmas, we closed off everything.
Crockett and College, right down
And it
there.
was at, the bank,
And we had the gazebo
the
where Santa Claus
gazebo, it
was.
was awesome.
It snowed that last year
It was,
on Friday night.
it was
It
packed.
was cool.
It was really was.
And then, there was all these vendors that set up
Yes.
down those two
Yes.
streets. And we were supposed to have a carnival, partial carnival on College, North College in front of the ERC. But due to the snow, they couldn't come.
Right. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I know who's going to the
Yeah,
next
that-
planning meeting.
That's what I brought up with Ashley, because they have the homecoming Christmas at the civic center. And it was in a conversation, if they take it downtown, then that would bring in more people.
Yes.
Maybe think about that. Anything for our youth activities for them might be something that incorporate that in.
Yes.
Maybe let them come in and freeze the ground and let them ice skate, whatever that is, like they do in New Caney and Woodlands. I mean, those kind of things are going to make an impact like you cannot imagine.
So true.
And if you were to look in, and I don't know if we've got, I don't think we've ever looked at anything like that, what the cost associated there would be, but you know what, there's a return, because those things are open for multiple weeks.
Yes.
They do bring in revenue, for the, there's gonna be constant activity downtown. So, I mean, again, these are great ideas and things to look at. What's very exciting is everybody, again, I think everybody here is catching what they want it to be, and if we have that, we can move towards it.
Yeah.
So, I know there's gonna be a lot of future discussion on this. So,
Make a motion for $2,500 for Christmas.
okay, we have a motion for $2,500.
I second that.
Second from Kelly, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. $2,500 to the city for the downtown Christmas lighting project.
I got a question, so what is the city in?
$19,333 is what they have set aside for right now. We're working on donations for the materials that probably has some labor. There'll be a little bit of labor cost. We're gonna have to prepare the ground out there for that area, but we're working on donations, companies to donate materials and supplies to where we would just be on the
Oh, I got another question.
I've noticed, and we haven't had decorations, so people be so excited, they do see some lights, they're gonna be so excited. But, I noticed when we did get those little flags or whatever, it stops at Lucia Brothers? Does it stop there? Lucia Brothers? So how far are we gonna take our decorations down?
I think as far as for the hometown Christmas, that's a great question.
Now,
I
I'm
know
talking
that
about the city decoration.
the city, I'm not sure. I don't know where the city is talking about taking decorations to.
You're talking about the banners? Yeah, it stops in a little short distance, but we have a city that's go all the way down to the.
I know one thing that came up specifically in that meeting regarding to area was every business along the parade route plus a block. So that, if you get all of downtown plus one block over, you're really creating a full area of, that's where you really focus on first, and then you go out from there. So we would, you'd contact every business along that route plus a block over. I'm not sure where the city banners stop.
I have to check with Public Works. Marilyn will check with Public Works to find out the reason why it stops. It may be a pole issue, maybe the number of flags we have, but we'll find that out and get back to council.
Okay, thank you.
Because past Brookshire Brothers, going down, where the high school is, truthfully, it's well lit than downtown, in my opinion. And you have more people coming in from that end. A lot of people won't come downtown, they come from the side or they go over, but just to drive down there, I mean.
We're hoping that Energy has the new lights up for downtown, and it will be very well lit. That's and again, that's where you want you're talking about where the square is, where the opportunities are. There's such a large percentage of it that's in that quarter.
Okay.
But it was a lot of last, there was so many people who were scared.
Well, I mean, as good as the parade was, and I think we all agree, there in that downtown section with the way that, and that's why Energy is being such a great partner in helping us fix that for the city, it was very dark.
It was. Oh, yeah. Very dark.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, we
triggered
questioned
this.
that.
Well, Entergy put, those LED streetlights in my neighborhood, and it's crazy. And it really is, it just totally lit it up.
So we're on the docket with them, we've had several conversations, so they're gonna be doing that through downtown, that's my understanding.
Yes, they're gonna start it in phases. We don't know when the first phase will come in, because they have to get the number of bulbs in. We have started that process.
We hope it's done by Christmas, but we don't have.
Will these be the pretty light poles like they have on the other streets?
No, what we're talking about, Entergy is going to replace all of our lights, our existing light bulbs with LED lights, which will be brighter. Those at a cost of $25 a piece, except for the mercury lights, which they're being replaced at no cost because they're being discontinued. So it's a cost of around $10,000 to the city to make the city brighter.
It will be a very drastic difference.
Yes.
All right, so we finished up with number 9. Number 10, we have a discussion and possible action on sponsorship for the City of Cleveland annual July fireworks event. Now, as you remember, the city voted to up their spend this year, correct, for a more professional and longer duration.
Yes, they went with a type 2 firework, which is the more commercial grade firework, which is at a cost of $25,000. Normally it was in the 15 to 20 range. This year it'll be $25,000, which I believe also will be 20 minutes long. 20 minutes long, usually it's 15 minutes. So there is a request for more sponsors for that particular deal. Now, yes, it is a flashbang in the sky, if you want to call it that, but it's more of a community event. So you got to look at it that way. So you're drawing your community people together for an event that everybody likes. And yes, it is something that disappears, but these are going to be higher because they're going to be type 2. They're going to be higher, so you're going to be able to see them. If you're sitting in old Pally Royal's parking lot, you should be able to see them because they're going to be at the stadium again. But this is a community event that is well liked in the community. We're talking about coming together as a community. So this is one of those events that everybody still needs to sponsor so that we can have a good event.
So historically, in talking to Robert, I found out that historically the EDC has generally sponsored $2,000 sponsorship historically.
And what about some of the businesses, the larger businesses like HEB, Entergy, our gas companies, all these people that our community spends money with?
Outside sponsors.
Yeah, I mean,
we have, the Civic Center has sent out sponsorship letters, as they normally do, to everybody. They are slow to coming in, from what Ashley is letting us know. But hopefully they will be coming in. Sometimes they do come in for the very last. But we do have a contract for this, so this event will still go on. So we do have a contract on there. But Leslie has a talk.
Yeah,
and Walmart.
we have only collected 1,500, and that's very low, very low.
That's a business donation?
Yes, business donation. I know I spoke to Ashley, just like before the meeting, and we're very concerned because we did go up 25,000, and we're not getting a lot of businesses to sponsor. I know she said she did do the application to get a grant with Entergy. I think that takes a while, but by now last year we collected 17,000. And they started coming in early as April. And right now we only have 1,500.
What is the reason for that?
Yeah, what was the
We was the
letters
letters
there?
sent out.
I think general cost inflation.
Yeah, we really don't know.
Would have to relate
Ashley said she's gonna start reaching out to the business owners again and see if we get more participation.
When were the sponsorship letters mailed? When did they go out?
I know, we did ours like it.
Yeah, we already got, yeah.
And I said,
That's-
mine quick.
I agree that this is a good, it does bring the community together. I also, on the flip side of that, the bigger cities do this and they have sponsorships, even the bigger cities do.
Yes.
And we're very small. And this, personally, I think it's something we really need to be careful about putting a whole lot of dollars into. I think that it needs to happen, no doubt about it, but as far as putting a lot of money into this, I have reservations. For that reason, I mean, I think we have better, more important.
From an EDC, from a board standpoint.
Yes, yes, absolutely, yes.
I have a suggestion. We all know, especially all of you business owners, including the city EDC, we have a fiscal year beginning. So if the letters went out in advance, asking Entergy, Centerpoint, TxDOT, places like that, if you would earmark your budget, X number of dollars to sponsor us in July, because when you think, the letters go out in April and May, they've already spent the bulk of their money.
The same year.
Yeah, I mean, always do it, this is just dirty, okay? Going out earlier, asking them, letting them know, we will need a sponsorship. We are asking you to be a sponsor for us.
I think to be fair to that point, did the time frame change when the letters went out this year?
No, it
So
was
last
the
year,
same.
they had very good success. They pretty much got sponsorships to cover the entire cost of
And I actually pulled up, for this time, we had already collected 5,000.
Yeah. So you did, so time frame of when the things were mailed out, and then your point is absolutely correct. You know, I mean, there's a sweet spot in there to get.
There's a sweet spot to get more, not only that, it would really be nice to get more. You're needing 25K this year. Say if you got 30, 40, or 50, then you could put that in reserve for the next year. That's what I'm talking about.
And also keep in mind that some of those funds that were brought in were personal contacts with some of our employees that contacted some of these big businesses that brought that number in. It was not because of these letters that are being sent out. It was because of get out and hit the pavement, talk to events. And that's why, and that's, I mean, we attribute a lot of that to him for getting the money to do that. And those are things that I mean, it sends a message to me if we're not seeing these big businesses like that donate to this.
Can we get a list of businesses that donated last year and then maybe haven't donated this year that we can follow up with them on a one-on-one?
Yeah, we do have.
In advance, earlier than March.
No, I'm talking about even reaching out to them this year and see how.
Yeah, and that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what Ashley's gonna do. But Robert, if you can help.
I knew that was coming. Robert does everything.
With talking to your networking friends. Yeah.
BNSF may want to donate. They may want to.
Is there any way that we can hold this and put it on the next? Maybe pass this and maybe look a little further down the road on what we want to give after we know?
This year.
July 4th, so our next meeting is
Next
in
meeting.
June.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, let me make a comment. We've every year budget 2,000. We need to go ahead and figure if we're gonna keep it 2,000 or let's do $2,500. Whatever we do, we still gonna budget $2,000 that we've got. It's already in the budget. Do we wanna give a little more? Because we still gonna have to raise the money, no matter, I mean, we still got it, whatever's left, we got to.
Well, I'll make the motion to give $500, $2,500 total.
And I like the 2,500 number, and I'll tell you why, because the city stepped up to make this event better. Because it goes back, and I'm gonna use Christmas as an example. As we move forward with the decisions we make, with the quality of things that we do for our city, it gets noticed. Right. When you're out there popping residential fireworks for a thing that brings in a couple of thousand people, that they're packed at the stadium, they're packed over at the Palais Royal parking lot, people notice. You know, I think making the step up to a commercial display for something that's attended as well as this is good. I think that yes, I mean, there's probably some follow-up we can do on some phone calls to get more donations coming in. But yeah, I don't think it's a vote on it, but I think 2,500 makes sense.
You're not gonna make it up. Remember, if there's 2,000 or 2,500 people or more than that in town, they go eat dinner, they pay sales tax, they buy gas, they buy soda.
And again, we're leaving these events going, that was nice. That was quality. That was well done.
People look forward to it.
People look forward to it.
And they don't want to have to travel.
So do we have a motion?
Kelly Jinkle made a motion.
Motion for the 2,500. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second
Okay,
from
I would just say,
Marilyn. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, unanimous. All right, do we have any items or we have a closed executive session, which is not needed.
I'll make a motion.
So do we have a motion? We adjourn.